Hello, everyone. With the launch of Operation System Override, Calypso Casino has been added into the ranked map pool and is also unbannable, meaning you'll be playing it a lot over the next few weeks. Since it's still brand new, many players don't know what's going on in the map, so in this video I want to cover some map layout, some drone spots, a couple attacks, a couple defenses, and the biggest mistakes I see people making on the map. This is a series I am making about how the fundamentals of a map work. This isn't necessarily going to be a comprehensive guide of how exactly you should be playing a 5-man strat, rather an overview of what you should be trying to do in each round. Let's start with the map itself. The two most important sites on the map are going to be Vault, which is CCTV and Vault Checkpoint, and the top floor, which is Cigar Room and Pool. With how the basement is laid out, we can kind of treat it like it's its own map since it's so large, meaning the first floor sites and the second floor are much easier to kind of know and learn and really walk around. So let's jump into that. We'll start in the lobby since it's kind of the focal point of the entire map, since it connects to pretty much everywhere. You could think of it kind of like a big circle, right? If you start on the top floor in this north mezzanine area, you can move this way. Takes you into barista, which I call coffee because it's easier. Circles around into kitchen, into cigar, which is one of the objective sites, into pool, another objective site, into, this is called pool hallway, but I call it bridge, back into the south mezzanine. Started over there, we circled around, and we ended up here. For the top floor, again, it's only a couple rooms: coffee, kitchen, cigar, pool, bridge. It circles around to the lobby, and the only remaining rooms are going to be tequila here in this corner, and aqua all the way in this corner of the map. Both of the corners have staircases that lead downstairs, and the lobby also has staircases that lead downstairs. For the first floor, there definitely are more rooms, but I just recommend knowing the names of the sites, like Poker and Blackjack, which is this room I'm in right now, as well as the room I'm entering now. This is one location objective. The next one is all the way through here to this area. This is bar, and it connects to betting, which is the other location of the objective. These are the first four objectives. There's a lot of rooms down here, like especially small little rooms like this, like wine, that are kind of small. I really just recommend knowing the sites and then the rooms directly connecting to them, like couches or leading into the poker blackjack room. This is vending. Just knowing these rooms like this are kind of the important thing, especially because these sites are a little unfigured out. Um, just knowing how it connects to lobby and the rooms directly, entering it is probably the most important thing. For basement, again, I want to reiterate that it's kind of like its own map since it's so large and there's so many entrances and it's kind of spread out. The site objectives are Vault Checkpoint, which is this big area here, as well as CCTV, which is this big area here. To these two objective rooms, there's 5 ways to get in. One of them is through Vault right here. This leads outside. The second one is through server and lockers, which is this area right here, which has a staircase and also leads outside. The third area, all the way back through CCTV, is fortunately color coded. It's green to the weapon hallway here. There's a staircase, and it also leads outside. And the fourth area is through yellow right here. Yellow has a staircase and also leads outside. There's a couple hatches down here as well. One in this elevator up there, and then 2 more kind of in this green area, one in the weapon hallway, and then one above the outside breach right here in office. Now that you know the map a little bit, here's some drone spots to help you out. The best spawn to start is always going to be helipad, and I recommend spawning here regardless of your attack. Your drone always spawns on the roof, and if you follow this drone path I'll show you right now, you can kind of see where the objective is going to be at within 10 to 15 seconds. You jump off the roof here, go into this big drone vent, you can bust a left here, fall down here, and you'll see if the site's second floor. You can jump back up, just fall all the way down to basement, first floor. Look left, and if the site's poker blackjack, you'll see it, or bust to right, go through this vent, you'll see if it's bar bedding. If it's not any of those three, you know it's a basement. You can figure that out within 10 to 15 seconds. You're also able to use this spot up here as just a good intel spot in general. You can leave your drone here to watch all of lobby, or you can leave it here to watch into pool. People don't really know about this spot yet, so it's pretty strong, I think. There's also a third spot on the roof up here. You drive all the way around to this staircase. That's the helipad spawn. You drive right here, there's another vent, and you can see straight into bridge. There are a lot of drone holes on this map, especially on the basement, and some vents that even go from the top floor to the bottom floor. This vent right here in Blackjack, if you drive your drone into it, will take you all the way down to the bottom floor through a vent, straight into yellow. Similarly, this drone vent here in pool will take you all the way down into yellow, right in front of the breach if you need to. It can be good if you know someone's playing here with the rotate. Other good drone spots here in the basement are going to be if you're attacking the screen side. There's a vent that goes into lockers. You can also slip under this door right here to see anybody in cash or green. I like using this drone hole here to see into sight, and it's also pretty safe if you just tuck it away right here. Use it as needed. I want to state something important though. You don't really need any good droning on this map since most attacks can be done from pretty close to outside, especially with operators like Nomad, Gridlock, or Aurora. You can take a little map control from outside and just block your flanks off and go for an execute pretty quick. You'll see that with the attacks that I show. You don't really need to drone the entire map and check every single corner. You just need to figure out what site they're at and the first 2, maybe 3 rooms you need to take after opening a wall from outside. Now let's talk attacking, starting with basement, since this is what I consider the best site and should be default, although ranked players seem to love any site that's top floor. For basement, there's actually a bunch of different ways to attack. You can come through office, through yellow, through vault here, or through lockers, like I said earlier. But personally, I think the best way to come in is going to be through this green area right here. Opening these outside walls, getting control of cache, break, weapon haul, and opening this single wall here and going for a plant. I think that's the best spot and the easiest way to do it. It's pretty simple. You just open the outside wall here. If they're tricking it, there's a hatch directly above and a soft floor. You need to take weapons, which again, if they're trying to hold it, hatch right above. Anywhere in cache or break, again, all soft floor. It's pretty easy to take. And if they're trying to trick this wall here, there's a drone hole right next to it. The only thing you have to worry about when taking all of this is if someone's playing here in yellow. This call out is tarp because there's tarp next to it. Realistically, all you need is someone lurking through construction to just distract this guy. Or personally, I like playing Aurora and just shooting a door panel all the way across and blocking this line of sight off. Once you have all this controlled, if you plant right here in this corner, nothing can stop you. They can't see you from the rotate. They can't see you from double. Unless they're playing vertical on you, there's really not much they're going to be able to do about it. So in game, what that kind of looks like is opening this office wall that leads outside, getting control of this area of the map, getting control of the weapon hallway, again, using hatches and playing vertical as needed, and then opening this wall right here, going for a default plant in this spot. You need to make sure that your yellow area can't kill you. Again, I like Roar to block that off, but it's up to you how you want to do it. That's pretty much the default attack. Planting right there, you'll win more than likely than not. Top floor attacks follow a similar idea. Open a wall, take map control, open a wall, and plant. Our goal is to plant in either cigar or pool behind one of the half walls, either here in cigar or here in pool. These are both kind of the default plant spots. This one in cigar is you can't shoot through it, but this one in pool you can, so you just kind of have to figure out where you can plant, where it's safer. The way to attack this, again, open a wall. The kitchen wall here can be opened from outside. There's a drone hole right next to it, so it's kind of hard to trick it. Take control of Tequila, which has 3 ways to enter it. Control of this mezzanine area over here. And you need to take control of Coffee here. Once you have control of this area of the map, which really isn't that hard to do since most of these rooms you can just see from outside, then you're able to open one of these smaller walls into sight and just plant in safety. It's pretty easy, not really a hard attack. Again, you don't need to set up much flank, maybe over here on Tequila stairs, but personally, I like to just play Aurora, cut this door off, and you can go in and plant. It's pretty simple. For this top floor, what that kind of looks like, it's just opening this kitchen wall, getting control of kitchen as well as Coffee here. Again, coming from this mezzanine area and this Tequila area. I like to roar off my flanks, roar on that door, roar on this door. And then you just need to open either this wall and plant right here. Remember that this is soft and you can get shot through it. Or opening this kitchen wall, crouching in and planting here. You cannot get shot through this, but you're a little more exposed on both sides, and it's kind of easy to see for you from the other side. Now, let's flip sides. On defense, your job is to stall time on the attacks and make the attack work for anything. Starting back in the basement, same as in my predictions video, you're going to go for a basement anchor, but the entire basement. So you want to pretty much cover every single entrance down here, make it so that no matter where they come from, you know about it. Generally, you just want one player at each entrance, so one in locker, one at vault, one watching yellow, and one watching green, and then a bridge player in sight that can kind of, go to support wherever is needed. Generally, I find that currently in ranked, a lot of players are just coming through yellow because it's so easy with it being a barricade. They might open this vault wall, but I would say in most of my matches, people are coming from this yellow side and trying to just funnel through this one doorway. If that's the case, again, good to have a smoke right here, can play the shield. Your bridge player can support as needed, coming out, playing across or, refragging, whatever's needed. It's up to you. Wall denial is really good over in vault. I like a Cade here. In lockers, mute is super strong because it's basically impossible to drone him. Over here, I like playing Thorn with a shotgun. You can watch your staircase, and nobody really ever comes this way. So honestly, for now, Thorn with a shotgun is pretty strong. Once they come down your stairs, if they're pressuring you a lot, you can fall back into weapon and play on this spot right here with more barbed wire and another Thorn. Swing with your shotgun. It's a pretty easy site. Generally, you just, again, want to spread out, play across the entire bottom floor. In game, the default setup is kind of easy. Rotate on this wall, have someone playing yellow. Again, smoke with the shields here is pretty strong. Have someone play inside a vault, preferably a Cade for the long line of sights. Reinforce both of these walls. A mute playing here in lockers and servers, close with a shotgun, super strong, can't get droned from anywhere. And then your bridge player is going to be in sight, and then your last player is going to play here in green with these two walls reinforced. You've probably noticed by now, I have a rotate here. I just went through it. You can reinforce this or have a rotate here for your green player if you want. The bridge player can come and help. And this wall is soft as well because if you'd like, you can make a rotate here and your bridge player could equally come help the yellow person. But if you have that rotate, you got to be mindful that your yellow person can't play here. They're going to need to play here. Otherwise, someone could just crouch walk down the stairs and be directly in the objective. It's kind of up to you how you want to do the site setup. There's really, now I don't want to say no wrong ways, but there's some walls you need to reinforce. Like that has to be reinforced. Vault has to be reinforced. These green walls have to be reinforced. But beyond that, it's up to you how you want to do it. It just depends on what your stack wants. Just remember, the bridge player needs to be helping every single person as needed. They just got to call for where the attack's coming from. The default attack in the future, I think, is going to be the screen side. But remember, for now, a lot of people are coming from this yellow side. So just be ready for that. Whatever comes your way, just make sure your site is set up however you need it. For top floor, you can kind of guess how we need to hold it based on the attack. Firstly, and this is probably the most important thing about this site, is that you need to hold coffee, or barista as it's called in game, as long as you can. Bring Denari, Thorn, Aruni, Legion, Ella, Fenrir, whatever ops you need to hold this area of the map for as long as possible, because as soon as the attackers have this, planting becomes so easy to do in the default spots we talked about earlier. This room is incredibly powerful, and you need to think of it kind of like Raptors on Clubhouse. Along with holding coffee, you need to make sure that this kitchen wall stays closed for as long as possible. If the attackers have to funnel through these two doorways to get into coffee, it's pretty hard. But if they also have the pressure from this kitchen area, it can be equally as challenging. Because normally you want to have someone playing in this doorway right here, holding across with you and helping you as needed. If this person can't play in this doorway because the breach is opened, then you're kind of a sitting duck, and it will be a lot easier for these two people to pinch you out. This is kind of what the 5-man setup would normally look like. You can, like I said in my prediction video, you can have this 5th person play under with like a Pulse or Solus if you really want, but I don't think it's going to be that strong. A Tubarao, I think, is pretty important as well as a wall denial like Bandit or Cade. Personally, I like Cade more. This person here, Thorn, Ella, Legion, Denari, anybody who can play here safely, preferably with a shield. So like Denari, Thorn, and Ella are going to be the best. Smoke playing back here in Aqua, denying plants as needed. And this person, if you haven't played Bridge, I like a Rooney here so they can put their utility up here in Coffee and then play the long angles in lobby, help deny this person coming through this mez area. It's a pretty hard site to defend if not everyone's on the same page, because you need a lot of support on this person in Coffee, and this spot right here is just hell to play because the attackers need to kill you if they want to win the round. I recommend just not doing anything. If you're sitting here in Coffee, just don't do anything. Let the people around you play the gunfights, and then your existence, your presence alone is what's going to make attacking this site so difficult. In game, on the top floor, the site setup is going to kind of look like this. 2 reinforcements in kitchen, 2 reinforcements on this lobby wall, and then a single reinforcement on the left side of this pool wall. You're going to make a rotate between sites as well as holes way up here. On the single wall into Aqua, holes way up here. And the feed holes from Aqua to Bridge, feed holes there. Same those high holes up here, as well as a rotate and a rotate. Feed holes down here in the kitchen so you can shoot anybody playing in there. And then if you want a rotate out here in the pool or reinforce it, it's just so this person in Coffee has an escape route. You can reinforce it without getting shot from someone standing right there. But just to reiterate, the most important spot in this entire site is holding Coffee. It's important because as soon as you have this control, you can easily just come in and plant like I showed. Doing this with, again, I like to play, Bandit over here, Tuber out here, and you can easily just toss his canisters, play this cross with you, as well as anybody coming that way. A shield can just be popped down right here, and you're just holding both sides. Aruni, Thorn, Ella, Fenrir, Legion, Denari, whatever you need to hold these areas down, take it, because like once this area is taken, if they have more than a minute left, you're pretty much going to lose. I can't reiterate enough how important it is to hold this just as long as you can. This rotate, honestly, sometimes I don't even think it's worth having, because you should be dying right here most of the time. Yeah, I can't stress how important it is to hold this area. As soon as you lose it, the round is just GG's, honestly. You have to hold this area. I'll say that over and over and over. You have to hold this area. Okay, now that I got that out, the point of these holes up top right here and over here and on this wall is so that you can play Smoke or Tachanka and just toss canisters wherever the attackers are coming in from. You can throw them over there pretty easily. You can throw them onto the default plant from here pretty easily. Or playing in here, again, you can throw them over there pretty easily, as well as playing in here with Smoke is pretty strong. But it's really just to deny the plants from afar. Back here, same thing. You can throw it pretty easily. That's just the point of these high up holes, as well as these feed holes here are pretty strong for denying anybody coming, this top lobby side. I like a Rooney here with the DMR. Play far angles or play here. Pretty good. Now, I only really am going to cover 2 bomb sites, the top floor and the bottom floor, the most. Right now, I think the best tertiary site's going to be poker blackjack, but honestly, both sites are pretty misunderstood when it comes to how to attack them. You can, honestly, it's just team deathmatch. You can play either site you want. Most of the time, it's going to be team deathmatch, but I think poker blackjack is going to be the more popular one. I'm not going to go too in depth, but I'm going to tell you, please don't reinforce off secret. Just put somebody right here behind this wall and reinforce this right here. You need to play this room because as soon as the attackers open this blackjack wall and open secret, it is no longer possible to play inside of blackjack, and they can plant behind this table, which you can't shoot through, and it's a free win. So just put someone in secret, play in there. I like Frost, put a Frost mount under the window, or Jaeger, anything you need, Legion, Ella, Fender, something, so that way you can just play in here for as long as possible. It's also really strong to play above. This whole entire site is vertical. You can play above with like a castle or something and deny any plants from above. But for the most part, it's just going to be team deathmatch, especially if you're playing bar and betting. Just put a shield somewhere in sight, pick Thunderbird, let the Dokkaebi foam blow up in your pocket, and just hold an angle. Now that you know the basics of the map, let's talk about some mistakes. I've said it in the past, but the biggest mistake I think people are making is not actively learning the map. Just spend 30 minutes running around. It's not a hard map. It's not too big. Just learn the map. Same for Lair. Go play that one too. Anyways, the next mistakes I see people making is roaming. Beyond just the whole Dokkaebi meta we have right now, the map does not favor roaming that much in the sense that you're playing against a good team. If you're playing in gold, you can roam as cav all you want. You'll probably get an interrogation, not because of the map, but because you're in gold. If the attackers know what they're doing, they're not going to be pushing very far into the map, especially on basement, and roaming is just not going to be too amazing. The defense is going to need you in sight. The last mistake, I think, is banning Mira. She's not that good on this map, maybe on the basement, but otherwise she doesn't really have that many strong options to hold, and any Mira spot can usually be countered by vertical play alone. I think banning defense ops like Thorn, Aruni, or Mute will be much more effective, especially Mute in this current Dokkaebi meta. And that's Calypso Casino. If you're still learning the map, just focus on the basic setups, learn the flow of the map, learn some drone spots, and understand how attack and defense plays out. Once you learn that, it becomes so much easier to play. I hope you learned something new, and thank you for your time.